take it. What the hell are you doing?
Oh. I don't even want you anymore! All I want is the drugs and the money!
That's trash.
Hello, welcome to That's Cool, That's Trash, the podcast where we watch a psychotronic movie online, then get together on Skype to break down the crazy. I'm your host, Matt Howell, and I'm joined today by
Joe Kincher,
Jacob Balcom,
Kyle Schaefer.
And this is our 100th and final episode for the foreseeable future. Thanks for being here, guys.
100.
100. So we started this show in June of 2013 with a bank loan and a dream.
Yeah.
So I remember this show started, Kyle. You and Joe and I and Scott were out at Edgefield.
That's right.
For Scott's 40th birthday. And I told you guys, I have this idea for this podcast I want to do. And it's going to be these revolving guests. We're going to watch terrible movies. And you guys both all said, I want to be on the first episode. And I just want to be on the show. And that went for a while, right?
Yes.
And then for one reason or another, Joe dropped out. Kyle, you got busy. You dropped out. Scott and I kept the lights on for a few episodes. And then I just decided to shut everything down. And then I came back and was regular. And we ran it till here. And now I'm putting everything away in storage for a bit.
Wow. So can you tell us a little bit more about why you're deciding to put this up for a little while?
Yeah, I'm happy to. I love doing the show, and I would do it till in perpetuity if I had a personal assistant or a booker. So I would talk about and watch these movies till death if I could. But chasing down folks and dealing with schedules as an adult is really hard to do. So
The editing's probably not easy.
no, editing's easy.
Oh, okay.
That's part of my job. But no, it is just the behind the scenes managing the flow is really the part that's overwhelming, and I want to take a break. So I realized that around episode 85. So I decided 100 would be a good centennial kind of thing. And so here we are.
Nice.
Well, you lasted longer than the lobster place on Hawthorne. That made it about a year.
I only know that because it's right by the comic book store. But yeah, I really love that was a thing for 5 months.
What are you doing? Lobster. A thing you maybe want twice a year if you're crazy about it.
It's what Portland's known for.
Yeah, our famous West Coast lobster. Anyway, congrats.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, so what we're doing tonight, as you can tell, is or maybe you can tell, is that we're all sitting in one room together, which happens here and there. And we're going to watch, I went around and around about what to do on the final show. So my first thought was to do one that was like the ending of Seinfeld, if you recall, which was a terrible ending. But if you recall, the show ends with Jerry. The show ends. No, I liked the actual.
You want to be disappointed.
The way it ended was awful, but the literal ending of the show is brilliant, which is that they're sitting in jail for whatever it was, being rude to somebody in a New England town. I forgot what it was, but anyway, George says to Jerry the literal first line he said to Jerry in the pilot episode. That is the way the show ended. I thought that was so cool that he says something like, it's the second button always makes or breaks the shirt. If it's too high, it's, blah, blah. I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant. They brought it back. All good comedians bring it back around, right? So I thought, well, what would be funny is, what if we did the first movie we ever did, which was Dragon Lives Again, a Bruceploitation movie, which was terrible. And I thought, what if we got all the original guys on it again, and it's like 7 years later, we riff or whatever, the same movie, and decided not to do that. And also, I'm not really in contact with Scott anymore, so that maybe we should explain Jacob's presence. Jacob, you've been a good friend of mine for a long time. And we've played music together. And you've been on the show many times. So I thought you were a natural to be a naturalized Scott replacement.
I appreciate it.
So you're a naturalized citizen to That's Cool, That's Trash. So thanks for hosting us here at your house.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yes, and I also have to give a shout out to the MVP of the show would be Jason Farrell, a good friend of mine from the Bookhouse Boys and elsewhere online. He is like tied with you for like most appearances, and so I just want to say thank you, Jason, for all the time you spent watching these movies that I know you hated. I really appreciate that. Okay, so what I did end up doing. So I'm sorry. After I thought about the Bruceploitation movie and the echo of the first episode, I decided against that. I thought, we never really did Ed Wood. We talked about Ed Wood a lot on the show. We should just do Plan 9 or one of his, classics, but that just didn't sound right to me. And I thought about the fact that I want this show to say that these movies aren't an anomaly in history. They didn't just happen in the 70s or 80s. They didn't just stop being made. They're being made. So I want to reflect that in the final episode and let you guys know that if you're heartbroken that the show's gone, at least these movies will keep being made by people that have dreams and aspirations way beyond their means to make anything. So I think that you probably can guess one of 3 21st century directors that we're talking about. We're not doing Tommy Wiseau's The Room. That's been done to death. We're not doing I forgot the name of the guy that did Birdemic, but we're not doing one of his movies. We are doing Neil Breen. We're doing a Neil Breen film. Not only a Neil Breen film, we've done 2 of those on the show. We're doing Neil Breen's latest work from last year. I saw this movie in the theater 13 months ago. I'll post a picture of me and my wife and my daughter, and she's holding up the poster from the theater that we bought from the guy that runs it. So this is a new movie. This guy, Neil Breen, if you don't know, we've done Fateful Findings, and we did I Am Here Now, 2 of his films, one from 2014 and one from 2009, respectively. This guy was an architect. He is an architect. He's an architect to pay for his films. He's passionate about filmmaking, and being an architect just makes it happen. He lives in the Las Vegas area, and this is his 5th film. He's been making films since the first one, Double Down, which is, I believe, in 2004. He broke through because for some reason when Netflix decided this whole physical medium mailing discs isn't happening, we got to get some content to stream, they scooped in a bunch of stuff. And Double Down, which we have not done, is a film where Neil Breen is basically shooting himself out in the desert, doing tons of VO, and buying a bunch of B-roll. And he makes an entire movie out of it, where he's a secret agent and he's all this stuff. It's amazing. And people were like, what the fuck is up with this movie? I mean, I can't imagine sitting down on the couch and going through the new Netflix streaming system and seeing this movie. You'll see some clips from it in the primer.
He's shooting himself in the desert?
He has somebody shooting him, but yeah, he's in the desert, eats tuna fish and has laptops and hacks into things. And it's amazing. Cool. At any rate, I wanted to go around the horn real quick before we watch the primer and just talk to you guys about what you know about Neil Breen, if you know anything, and what you're expecting or whatever.
I know a little bit about Neil Breen, just kind of what I've heard from your show, and they've done it a lot on Flophouse, if you know that podcast. And so I've listened to. I'm not even sure. My memory is a little hazy. I'm not sure if I've even seen Fateful Findings or just like heard about it and heard it described in such a way that it feels like I've seen it. But I understand Neil Breen is sort of this auteur in all lowercase letters that's kind of magical. So, I don't really know what to add about that. I know we have different levels of Neil Breenness in here, but I'm somewhere kind of in the middle.
I would say auteur in papyrus. Okay.
Like the font. Yes. Yeah.
This will be my first experience. Other than I've seen a handful of trailers, so I have a real taste for what I'm about to see. Sort of the condensed, dark burnt gravy experience. So I'm really excited to be able to tie in, dig into a whole meal around this. Really get a feel for the misogyny, the God complex, and the exploitation.
It's like one of those food shows. You're like, what is that? Capers?
Yeah. I'm ready for the whole meal.
Yeah. What is that? Aggrandizement?
Jacob.
I think I listened to the episodes that you recorded of the podcast about his films, but I personally haven't seen any of them.
Yay.
So I'm coming in, yeah. I know nothing, so I'm ready. Totally ready.
So Kyle hit on some of the big beats that this guy does just from seeing some trailers, but I put a primer together. I cut it down. I couldn't get it shorter than 15 minutes. I apologize. I wanted to hit the five B's of Breen. Okay, so this is organized and it's got structure, so you can know what his kind of peccadillos are or whatever. You know, his Breenness. So we're gonna watch that now, and then we'll just do a real quick touch base before we start the movie. Okay?
Can't wait.
All right.
My name is Aaron Brand. I always thought I was doing the right thing and preparing for life. I was the first in my class in college in computer science. I joined the military and became a fighter pilot and won many medals for distinguished service. I joined my country's secret strategic support branch of the Defense Intelligence Agency to fight terrorism around the world and became the best agent they ever had. I developed a way to control any computer or satellite the government had. Didn't mean to disturb your lunch.
I'm so fucking high. I want you so bad.
I really want you to.
They're going to have an unfortunate accident.
No! Don't cut off my ear! Ah!
Jim! Jim! How could you have done this? Jim!
I can't believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe you committed suicide. How could you have done this? How could you have committed suicide? I can't help you out of this one, Jim. With all we've been through, I can't pull you out of this one. Goodbye, my friend. Goodbye.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
All right, folks, we are back. We just watched the Neil Breen primer, and then we launched into Twisted Pair from 2019, Neil Breen's latest work. Initial thoughts.
What? Oh, I wrote, was that intentional? A Neil Breen retrospective. And so that's a good initial thought. Speak on that.
For me, I thought this is a film about choices. About every kind of choice that you can make as an actor, a director, a producer, everything. And for me, it was he has taken the least obvious way in every facet of this film. You could call it the wrong choice. I'll call it the wrong choice. He's made the wrong choice in every way.
He's like the George Costanza of film. Yeah. Like that thing where George Costanza is like, oh, I always make the wrong choice, so if I just do the opposite of what I normally would do, my life will be better. Like Neil Breen does the, like, oh, you going to do this? And it's like, no. I'm going to do the Costanza thing.
He has a signature style that only makes sense to him.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yes.
And that is the sign of an auteur.
It's like even the voiceover, the way he talked to us, it's like he's got this really big idea in his head, so he's going to speak very slowly to make sure that he can explain it to you, and it's still not going to make any sense.
But he also... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, Kyle, I totally agree. It reminds me of when we first started playing music together in high school. You knew some chords. I was a bass player because I had a bass, and we started a band, and we started playing some music, and we would, record a song, and it's like this song's fucking great. And then you'd make a boombox tape of it and you'll listen back like, why the fuck there's no strings in there? Like there was the big fucking soaring guitar solo I heard in my head. None of that was there. Where the fuck did that go?
You hear it in here.
Exactly.
Well, and he sounds like Neil Breen's like a guy who has this, like you're saying, a big idea in his head about like, you know, the big world order and like aliens and AI or whatever. And then he has an 8-year-old's idea of like how to translate it to you and tell you about it. So I was like, when we were watching the Neil Breen primer, I was trying to describe, so there's this tape that my brother had as a literal 8-year-old. He would sit around with his friend Kevin and they would record things on cassette and just audio cassette and be like, so there's one was like, so this is the secret formula and it can do anything you want it to. And here it is. And they give you the recipe for the secret formula, and it was like, or the secret, and they call it different things, like wouldn't even be consistent in their own thing. And they'd be like, 1 strand of spaghetti, 1 bat wing, 1 piece of bread shredded up, and cheese. And that is the magic formula, and they call it the secret formula for, and like, okay, whatever, that is the magic formula. It can do anything you want it to, and that's like it. That's completely what he feels like. But like a whole movie of that is like, that is what it is.
I'm really glad that you guys were here to watch this with me, because I need some help. I don't know what this was about. Like,
choices,
man. There's themes in here, but I really don't.
There, though.
Like, I mean, okay, at the highest level, there is a guy who's got superpowers. He's got AI. He's an enhanced human.
With all my abilities to defeat evil, I still think of my brother Cale all the time, wondering what's happened to him. I miss him. I miss what I never knew.
And there's a corrupt corporation.
I think it's a crime conglomerate.
Sure.
Kuz.
Yep.
The villain Kuz, which we saw in the credits, is Cuzzx.
Yeah. Which should be Kuj.
I think that's supposed to be like Spectre, like James Bond's Spectre type of thing.
That makes total sense now that
Oh,
you
and
say
he
it.
has a monster robot voice. He does. It's supposed to actually be this.
So, yeah, what did you think it was?
Crime, Universal.
Something. Yeah, so I think it's a crime syndicate that was doing something bad.
Kuz's empire is planning the takeover of the Earth. Through the masterful use of his biochemical and cyber control of the humans' life support systems. A feat not really hard to accomplish through today's technology.
All right, that's all I got.
Okay.
Let's talk
So
about
were they
the
related?
superpower real quick, though. His superpowers that he keeps talking about, they pretty much amount to avoiding stairs by jumping up a floor to another railing. Or jumping down from a railing back down to the first floor. Is that not accurate?
No, it's absolutely accurate.
That is his superpower.
But I thought, yeah, I mean, Matt, you might need to walk us through some of the plot points because you seem to have a grasp on Neil Breen and his work, so we maybe help us out a little
That's
bit.
some heavy lifting there.
Oh, well, I'm giving it to Matt.
Okay, so I'm going to try... I don't know if I can do it on this one. So, again, I saw this at the Clinton Street Theater last October, 2018, with my wife, my daughter, who loves Neil Breen passionately, and both of the guests who had been on the Neil Breen episodes, Adam Berg and Sarah Accenti, they joined me there to watch it. And you know when you watch, like, do you remember in Ed Wood when they go to the premiere and the kids are going apeshit and tearing this theater up and throwing popcorn at the screen? Like, you know that happens in the movies? It was like that, but because they were happy with the movie, not angry with the movie. Like, it was the rowdiest crowd I've ever seen a film with in my life. Like, it was hooting and hollering. People were drunk off their asses, laughing, cheering. like standing up and clapping at certain. I mean, it was the most uproarious crowd I've ever seen a film with. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. Ah, it sucks. It's so crazy bad. Yeah,
I don't think anybody showed up there on accident. So they meant to be there.
They're like, but it's like a certain connection with this certain type of badness that is just like, it's so like doesn't even it's so unself-aware. And it's kind of refreshing in an era of very manicured things
And the era of irony as well, right?
Yep. Yeah.
I mean,
It's like this.
we're at the end of the irony age.
Right. Yeah, sure.
So all I can tell you is that Neil Breen stars. He plays Cade and Kale, two twin brothers who were humans that were abducted by a higher power and made into post-human AI super beings, both for affecting good in the universe. But one of them was a failure and was downgraded or something and became corrupt.
We were given missions by the superior entity to fight for good and defeat the evil in humanity, using our superior powers. Although we were treated equally and programmed identically, my twin brother Cale was not successful in his missions over the years. The Force eventually decided to remove his powers and release him.
Cade, the good one, is here on Earth working with some type of agency of, again, like Bondian kind of MI6. I don't know what it's like. Something. People who do good. And Kale is here as well, but he has fallen. He's Lucifer of the pair, and he is drinking Grigio and taking pills with a hussy. And he has a beard, a Rasputin beard and spirit gum mustache. And he is a vigilante. So whereas Cade is good and does good by bringing justice to the world, serving justice, Kale will just kidnap corrupt politicians and senators and CEOs and torture and murder them. So they're both working towards the same end, but one is just and one is not.
Don't kill me.
Don't worry, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to hold you here for all the crimes that you've committed. The cheating, the lying, the embezzling that you've committed against the public. And all the injustices you've...
Injustices? I'm an attorney, and I'm going to see that you are put in jail for the rest of your life.
I don't give a shit. This is my form of justice.
Oh! I knew this was going to come back to bite it. The stolen cars. Millions embezzled from charities. All the politicians we've been paying off.
Oh, we've been paying politicians off for years.
The illegal drugs.
The illegal guns.
The CEOs we had assassinated. Human trafficking.
Oh, the insurance scams we run. Hell, we've even sold military secrets.
I'm going to leave you a little reminder. I will be back. Here's a little gift from me to you.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, this
like from the Bible.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cade is Cain.
Cain and Abel. Cade and Kale. And this just goes to show, I've been telling people Kale is fucking evil, and this just proves it. And, like, everyone's excited about Kale. I'm like, that shit's fucking evil, man. And it is. It's bad news.
Okay, so we established in the primer that in Double Down and in his other earlier films, he uses stock footage a lot. This one he didn't rely on nearly as much as his other films. So we got a lot of just him and
a lot of in the intro, though, right? Like the establishing.
Yeah,
setup.
And he does that frequently. Establishes the world with his VO and uses stock footage, and then he does his own thing within that. But in this one, he fell on repetition more, I felt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There was also the narration. It was about maybe halfway through or a third of the way through. Can't tell. Like it was hard to clock where, because it doesn't have proper act breaks. It was hard to tell like how far along you were once you were about a third of the way in. But with the narration, I got to a point where I was like, oh, he's gonna fucking do this the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's doing he thinks he's doing a Blade Runner thing, and there's the AI element, so I was like, oh, he's totally doing a Blade Runner thing, where he's like a Deckard, except it's like, he sounds like fucking Dexter. He's like, tonight's the night. I have the power to save humanity. I'll do it in a moment. Hold on. I could totally save the universe. I mean, it's like psychopathic. His lack of emotion is. Anybody else want to speak to that? Like the weird. His acting is so monotone in a way that
I would think
it's
unnatural is the word that came to mind the most. Just like there was nothing natural about anything that he did, anything that he said.
Good morning. Have a nice day. Follow me. They can't hurt me. You won't get hurt. Follow me.
His movements
So
were the most unnatural thing about the movie.
We figured it out towards the end that basically he moves like, he moves like he's had a recent hip surgery and shoulder injury. Like maybe he fell down a flight of stairs like 3 weeks ago, and he's like, I'm good, but I still walk a little weird, and I'm kind of babying it, and that's how he walks. And everything that he does is that little bit of off, a little unnatural.
Did you say that this is his fifth?
This is his fifth film.
His fifth film.
So he's really finally coming to his own.
By this time, you would think that he would realize that he can actually act to be able to move his story forward instead of just use like this voiceover. It was really interesting. He kept repeating the same voiceover over and over and over again, and also telling you what was about to happen right before it happened.
And also what just happened. Like, in a way, it was like...
God, this is all part of his process. I can picture him, like, sitting down, typing we'll call it a script, okay? He's typing something.
For lack of a better word.
And then he's like, I'm going to go find some shots right now to help flesh this out. And then he finds different shots in the B-roll library.
Yes.
And then he rewrites. He's like,
that's
a great one. I'm going to go back in
That's
and rewrite
good.
it.
Oh, they're letting me use the community college. Well, we'll film there. Okay, let's work that in and some guys... And yeah, it's just all sort of padding from like, it's like he had a paragraph, when they have like, so there's like screenplay, an actual screenplay or script, and they have like, then it's like story by, and then they'll have like based on a concept by, or like characters, like if you had like Die Hard 3, you're like, oh, well, these are, John McClane's a character that's conceived by this guy, and then it's like, the story idea might be like, it's basically like a pitch. It's like, okay, so a guy goes in the building, gets trapped, blah, 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 has to fight terrorists. Okay, that's your story idea. But then the actual script fleshed out. This guy didn't get to script part. It's all just the story idea. He has a paragraph, and he's like, I want to do a thing. It's about AI, and this guy comes down, and that's the thing. And that's it. And so it's like his elevator pitch, it only got to that, and then he just goes and fleshes it out. But he never does any script. Like, he doesn't actually write.
Well... Yeah. So, and the result of that is that we essentially are in the Black Lodge of Neil Breen's mind. So we're like Agent Cooper's just walking through curtained rooms.
Yep.
Forever. In his mind, this story is moving forward. It's epic. The big digital explosions are going to happen soon. But it felt like we were just in a time loop where we're just stuck on him walking through the darkened halls of a community college at night over and over again, saying, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to end this.
It's like your brain does that thing when you create a thing and you don't have the self-remove to listen back to it or watch your own game. You can do this thing, your brain will trick it into, like, your brain is filling in the missing pieces.
Yes.
That's what brains do. They go, oh, no, it was really good. Like, you're like, no, because you're hearing all the harmonies of the parts or whatever.
Right.
And if you don't have that self-remove and like, okay, yeah, you recorded that and you hear it all in your head, but like listen to it a couple days later on headphones and you're like, oh, there's a whole bunch missing there. Like, there's a lack of perspective, but he bulldozes forward with all that with that same level of like, nope, like he did it all in one night, and he's like, then I got real drunk and high and listened to it and watched the movie, and I'm like, it still holds up, man. It still holds up. Like, so there's no self-critical, like how people say like they're their own worst critics. He is the opposite of that. He's the opposite of that.
See, I felt though with the repetition that you were talking about, Matt, I think that's an absolute choice by him. It seemed like any scene that he really felt was important, he would just repeat himself over and over again. Mm-hmm. Especially that scene where it's like, you betrayed me, you betrayed us, you betrayed me, and us.
He frequently in his films repeats the lines like that where, we talked about this on the other episodes, where we can't tell if it's one long take where he's just kind of doing several reads on it and he realizes like, I can't fucking choose. This is fucking gold. You know what? I'm using each line read and the whole take is just staying in the way.
He's like,
I want that to be true so badly.
Yeah.
I swear it's like that.
Usually takes 3, 4, and 5. And you know what? I have to pad the film anyway. So let's just use takes 3, 4, and 5 because for all we know, he's seeing nuance between those takes where he's like, take 3 is like the serious one. Take 4 is like the bitter one, and take 5 is like the take 5 is like the silly one. And it's like when we're looking and going, those were identical.
Yeah,
like you have no range.
Yep.
But okay, keep them all. If you were editing that, if he had an independent editor, if anybody besides Neil Breen was editing this, they'd be like, I don't even know where to begin.
He did have an extra editor on this.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious what those conversations were.
Oh, shit. Like, no, keep it all. That's what it was. It was like, so we have this and this. And he's like, what happened to the panning shot of the slowly coming down from the community college and then into the tree and then like, oh, you mean that 20 seconds that doesn't need to be there that's visually uninteresting?
You mean that static shot of the tree?
Let's
just skip that in there.
Put it back.
I remember that shot when I was watching this in the theater thinking, I think it was Kyle that said like, or maybe you that said like, this is cinema or something like that. Maybe, I don't know what it was, but I remember thinking, I'm sitting in a fucking movie theater in a goddamn city watching a fucking oak tree or whatever the fuck it is on a community college campus. It's consuming the composition of the frame and nothing is happening. 30 seconds, nothing happens. And then the character that he plays walks in the far off distance, like 45 seconds in the shot. Yeah. And I thought, I'm watching this. This happened. Yeah. So I think what happened with those two editors, I can't tell if he hired a cat to do editing, and then he came in, like you were saying, and said, where the fuck is this tree shot? Where's the fucking... What? You know what? You're done. You're done.
He's like, no.
Get out.
God damn it. He's like, the tree is the heart of the film. It's a metaphor, motherfucker. Like, it's the tree of life. That's why it's all in the frame, taking up 2/3 of the fucking picture.
So, yeah, I can't tell. I think that... If they did work in conjunction, I can guarantee you that other cat felt undermined by Neil Breen.
Yeah. Right, because Neil Breen is Neil fucking Breen, motherfucker.
Yeah, that other guy doesn't understand the vision. He doesn't understand the scope of his vision.
He's like, yeah, well, build some buildings. Design some buildings, then come back and talk to me, editor.
So this film is, unlike most of our films, not available to be seen free online. So a large part of the listeners aren't going to have seen this yet. You might have seen a Neil Breen movie, but he's pretty good about keeping his shit off the internet.
BitTorrent.
So,
Sorry.
Jacob, can you take a stab at describing, like, to someone who's never seen a Neil Breen film, like, what it's like?
Yeah, your first time.
What this movie is like.
This was my first one that I've watched, and
Neil
I
Breen
would say...
version.
Well, I think the B-roll stuff is key to understand, that he uses a lot of stock footage, inserts himself into the stock footage. And like what Joe was saying, like a composition shot that's really, really poorly done. All the actors, Neil Breen and all of his actors, deliver the lines all very loudly, which I noticed.
Shout acting, yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely shouting.
A crisis. Programmable virtual reality.
We have evidence of the largest cyber and terror attacks ever planned.
Programmable DNA.
This is very serious.
Like the sound equipment isn't quite up to snuff, or guy who's doing the sound is just like, no, a little louder. Like, no, we can't hear you. You need to go a little bit louder and flatter. It's too much emotion in your lines.
Yeah, how's the acting on like a sliding scale from hobby community theater to, you know, like a professional actor, like a what's the guy in the thing?
I don't think it fits on any type of scale. I think it's outside of that scale, because I've never seen community theater actors act that way. I've seen them act poorly, but I've never seen them act that way. Like, just like everyone says their lines like they're being held hostage, like there is a gun off screen.
That's
like
it.
He did her deck.
Yeah.
He designed my fucking deck. Now I'm in this movie. This is my gig.
Yep. No, it reminds me of that's a really good way to put it, because I was trying to fit. It was like it's community theater, but with something else, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And that is, it's like a held hostage thing. So it's like, I think it may be this. If you just entered the world of community theater, maybe I could act. It seems easy. And then you do it for a hobby, and then you're suddenly being filmed and directed by that guy.
Yeah.
That's the result you get. So you're like, I think I'm doing a good job. And he's like, no, too natural. Less of that. Like, it's like what works for Hal Hartley, where he's like, no, I want it to be like metaphorical, so I want this weird wooden delivery.
Yeah.
Is like, in this case, like, I don't even know how
What,
to
what I heard you say is that it's like community theater without the theater. So
Well,
it's
yeah,
just his community.
Right, it's just community. And then people trying to pretend to be people, because everybody in there feels like they're like, this is what a human would do, and it feels psychopathic. So I think part of the thing is, like, if you have community theater people and you see them in a community theater, like you go to Little Theater on the Bay or whatever, right? Like, you're in this place and you go, you forgive them the thing, because you're like, well, of course, I'm seeing, like, you know, regular folks doing a little thing in a black box theater, like a little stage, and they're doing
Our Town
or Little Women or whatever, and you're like, oh, okay, it's supposed to be stagey, it's on stage. When you see it on film and people are taking their time with, like, waiting, it's like there's editing, like, you don't have to go like and pause for laughs. What do they, you know, like, you say a line and, like, you're waiting for a reaction, and they show you saying the line, pausing, showing you waiting for me to say the reaction. Then they show me waiting to absorb your reaction, and then I say my banal response.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa,
there was a
what?
consistency about it that I think you're right, Joe. I think that
It's a choice.
His direction, I mean, I know his direction for every line was just like, no, you're too natural. You need to say this line like you have just arrived on Earth.
Yeah.
And have no context of what is going on.
It's the reverse Robert Altman. Like, you know, like, everybody talk over each other. It's natural. I'm like, da, 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 like, you know, or the reverse, like so many other directors, like, you know, Woody Allen, Robert Altman, they're like, Preston Sturges, like, no, everyone talk fast and talk over each other because that's more natural. And trust me, it's film. It moves fast. And this one's like, no, slow down. So people are talking like you and me at a natural rate. And he's like, slow it down. You're going to lose people. They're not going to know what you're saying, even though you said the same thing 15 times in the last 10 minutes. Slow it down.
Okay, so as of today, Neil Breen is 61 years old. He was born in 1958, November 23rd. Kyle, will you, for the folks that haven't seen his stuff or aren't familiar with him, can you just describe him physically, like who this guy is?
Yeah,
He looks like
love
Ira
to.
Kaplan's dad.
He's a little schlubby. He's a little soft. He's a little doughy, and we know this because we've seen him without his shirt on multiple times.
Yes.
We're pretty sure he buys his pants at Costco. It's definite mom jeans territory. No belt, but lots of mom jeans and tucking T-shirts and long sleeve shirts, black long sleeve shirts into the pants. He obviously dyes his hair. His hair is really wispy and thinning. And he looks like he's been out in that Nevada sun for a very long time.
Now, Kyle, would you say that he's a guy who looks like maybe he has a home office?
Yeah. I would definitely. I could see.
Okay.
I can picture his home office. I'm pretty sure we saw his home theater in this movie. What's really interesting about him too is just his mannerisms, like the way that he carries himself. I'm pretty sure in his mind, like he thinks he's James Bond, and the way that he carries himself is more like some other James, like a James we don't know.
James Mason.
Being 61, it's pretty obvious when you see him like having a hard time getting up as he's trying to plant bombs around the hydrogen plant. And just the running and the way that he carries himself, it's like I'm feeling for him a little bit right now.
Have you seen The Irishman?
Yeah.
Okay. So when they de-aged De Niro, you know that scene when his daughter comes back from the store and the grocer was mean, and he goes and kicks the shit out of the grocer, and you can tell that's an 80-year-old or whatever the fuck De Niro is. That's an old man beating the shit out of a dude, de-aged to look full.
You don't have Metamucil, you fucking cunt. You better get Metamucil in here, motherfucker.
He's like made out of kindling.
Yeah, he's doing that like old man, like an old man kicking something at the bus stop, and you can tell, and that's the moment that everyone that's seen that is like, oh, okay, this didn't work, man.
Why is that not a body double?
Yeah, like
that one scene. God,
it's a far enough away
not
shot.
A close-up shot.
It's a far enough away shot.
Makes
It's like
no sense.
Use a stunt double.
He's so physically uncomfortable. Like he made me uncomfortable. The way that he speaks makes me uncomfortable. The way that he smiles, like he's got this creepy smile that I know he thinks is charming. I know he thinks that is his money smile.
That's his
the
disarming
$1
smile.
Yes.
I wrote a thing here, and I'm curious if anybody, to what degree anyone agrees with it. I said so this is in my notes. If Donald Trump was liberal and 40 years younger and made movies, it would be Neil Breen.
Okay, so interesting. I thought about Donald Trump a lot during this. I don't know why, but for one thing, the hair, he clearly has an ego thing around his hair, and his hair is long and wispy and super thin, and he's dyeing it, so that vanity thing came through.
Yeah.
And also the fact that everything that Neil Breen does is superlative, right? I talked about that in the primer. Like, I'm the best there ever was. It's the very most best, goodest, best. No one does AI like Neil Breen. No one does AI like Breen.
I have the powers. I could save it. He said from the beginning to the end, and it's like, well, then do it.
Yeah.
Like, I have powers. It's like it feels like that only I could save the country kind of shit. And then you also have, so it's like the thing that in the Neil Breen in the primer, the conspiracy theory kind of thing, except it's like a leftist version of QAnon, like deep state, where it's like, which makes it actually more accurate, where it's like, the corporations are trying to fuck you over, man. But it's like, if it was that, but also like, only I can save you, me as Superman, and yeah, it just seemed it's like an alternate universe Trump to me.
It's like Occupy Cinema.
Yeah. I wonder if he believes in any of this, or if he just like sees that these are issues that people seem to care about.
I think he's deeply passionate. I think if you saw his other 4 films, you realize that this is all he thinks about.
Okay. So AI, Messiah Complex.
Yeah. That he is here. He has a message for us, and he's going to try and make it as palatable as possible because we need to hear it.
And we need to hear it very slowly to make sure that we understand.
If you want to know who's watching, who gives a shit, who's listening to fucking Rogan's show and watching Elon Musk on Rogan's show, Smoke a J, and watching like Elon Musk TED Talk and like has it like if he has technology, has like an alert for when Elon Musk news comes up, it's that guy.
That absolutely is.
Hypertunnel, it's the future. And he wakes up in a cold sweat and then like writes an idea like, what about a movie about a hypertunnel from here to Mars? So, yeah.
So do you think he thinks about his audience as he makes these films? Are these just for him?
You see that guy? He doesn't think about anybody.
Do you think he thinks about an audience that's going to actually see his nonsense? Or is he just like, no, this
Nobody
is all
wants
me.
to hear that Roma's burning.
No.
Jacob, thank you. You know what? I actually wrote down this question. Who is this movie for? And you just answered it. It's for himself.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't even know why I wrote the question down. It was right there in front of me the whole time.
He's making a movie so that this will go in the Library of Congress, and someday people will go, Breen was right, man. Breen was fucking right. He had it all along. And we wouldn't listen.
So I'm a big fan of his non sequiturs. In this film in particular, he had a couple that he really fell on. I think he thought were powerful. One of them, I saw you shake your head at one point.
I miss what I never knew.
He says it like 3 times. At one point, what was the other thing he said? Joe mentioned that he said like only I can stop it. Whatever, something where he's basically saying I have the power to stop this for 90 minutes.
I can stop all of this myself. I don't need an army. I can stop all of this with my own powers. Alone.
And then he does it, like to no one's surprise. But it made me think of Coleman Francis, or like, like Red Zone Cuba, or like The Beast of Yucca Flats, where it's just like, he went out there and filmed Tor Johnson out in the desert, and then he's like, okay, what do I do with all this fucking footage?
I build the story around.
So then Coleman Francis recorded a bunch of non sequitur gibberish that's fucking gold, like, flag on the moon, how did it get there? Push a button, something happens. That whole film is just that nonsense, and it's fucking awesome.
Yes, it is. I wrote this, and went back to my earlier notes. I did write one-man show feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you could do it again. You could do like one-man show feel, the Neil Breen retrospective.
The Rabrina monologues.
The Breen method.
Yeah, the Breenalogs.
I watched that on Netflix, though.
Yeah. One-man show feel, Breen screens.
It looks like he spent a little bit extra on his stock footage this time. So he is emphasizing in the beginning, and it comes back in the end, that he is this enhanced humanity, this AI. His DNA has been altered to make him superhuman. And so some of the footage he has is kind of top shelf stuff, where there's like, it's like Tony Stark visualizing, like the virtual computer that you can interact with in a physical realm, and then he just inserts himself into the shots. Like he puts a nurse's mask on and like scrubs and just kind of sits.
But I love that compared to the rest of the shot, he's so grainy. Yeah. Like he's obviously not in like 4K.
Yeah. And then this great thing where there's where there's like a nurse or whatever, and she's got like one of those, glass iPad things, like the Minority Report things, and she's looking at DNA shit, and he's to our left, what would be her right, so like camera left of her inserted in the shot, and she's like doing stuff with her hand, moving the screen, and he puts his hand up, and it's outside of the screen, just puts it up, and it's so like you expect her to look over and go, I'm sorry, what are you doing?
Who let you in here?
Yeah, who let you in here? It's so weird. Like, sir, what are you doing? He's like, I just want to touch it. It's really weird. It's fucking hilarious.
Well, at one point in that shot too, like she makes a motion, and then he turns to her and like smiles, like yes, good. Now I'm in this shot. Now I'm inside you.
We interacted.
I hope he's watching it on a little TV on the other side of the room.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's got a monitor so that he can be like, because he's like that thing with there's the eagle or whatever on the rock, and he puts his hand, and it's supposed to be on the stump or the rock or whatever. And he's putting it right there to where it's like sort of looks like it's touching it.
Some of these clips looked like they were industrial videos or like a sales commercial for like a small personal jet that you would buy, and he just stole it, and he's like pretending to sit in a seat, and then the real model comes in the back and smiles and like touches the seats.
Yeah, there's a private plane at one point, and it's looking at from the back of the plane towards the cockpit, showing all the seats, and it's definitely
I
that.
thought it was from the cockpit looking back. And he boards and sits down.
Okay, so she comes out.
There's a green box right there, so he's sitting on a green box.
No, because the seats are facing us. So I'm assuming the seats are facing forward. So the camera is where
the shot was from the back.
No, the shot's from the cockpit facing towards the back.
Yes.
So anyway, but you can see, and Neil Breen's sitting in a seat, and you can see like he's compositionally inserted in that. It's got the kind of like that halo, that line around him that's not quite right, and it's like, so they grabbed a screen grab of they went to like expensiveprivateplanes.com and grabbed like a shot and blew it up.
I feel like Kyle's right. I think Kyle's onto something.
Yeah,
I feel like
right.
I think he feel like he blast out a bunch of emails like, I am interested in your please send me promotional materials ASAP. And then he just like got some small print that says, I may use this in a film, and you sending it to me are agreeing to do so.
Yeah. By checking this box, you agree not to sue me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the way that the model touches the seats and then smiles at the camera.
In the
Fine
shot,
Corinthian leather.
in the shot when there's the military where he's helping our troops, and there's like this stock footage of people like going through like a decimated building, and he walks in, out different light source, everything. He's like, I can't be hurt. Follow me. I'll lead you to safety. And they're all going 80% because he needed to stretch that shot out just long enough, and he's going normal speed.
I had a
stretching
joke.
technique is perfect.
I had a joke for that sequence that Kyle was like, you should write that down, and I don't want to blow by it, but they had the military thing, and he's like, follow me, whatever. I wrote, the few, the proud, the Mabrines.
That's good.
Thank you.
I think it was bold to cast himself as 2 starring roles in one film.
Yeah.
I think he felt like he was underused in his previous projects. The director didn't have the vision to really utilize all of his gifts.
I should be doing all the roles.
Well, so spoilers here in a second. I'm going to give you a moment to, in case you want to pause and go to twisted-pair-film.com and order this from Neil directly and watch it and come back. You are now going to hear spoilers. So at the end of the film, it is established that Cade, whose last name is Altair, Cade Altair will be back. So he looked at Disney Marvel and said, that's silly money, and they're not even that talented. I'm establishing a Breen-averse, and I'm going to be back, motherfuckers.
Avengers, suck my kiss.
Yeah.
Give me my share. Yeah, what did we decide that sequel was going to be called?
Twisted Pairs.
I thought it was Twisted Pair 2, 2 Twisted, 2 Pairs with a Z.
So I was relieved. I'm going to ask Jacob. I'm sorry to point at you here, but you're the virgin. You're one of the virgins. So in the theater a year ago, I didn't understand it. And I didn't understand it tonight. The scene when we introduce a woman, he's walking on the campus. It's all fucking a campus, and he shoulder checks accidentally a woman while looking at his phone and says, I'm sorry, helps her pick up her shit and says, you know what, I'll make it up to you. I'll buy you a drink. I'll buy you dinner. Meet me here at 8 o'clock.
Which he repeated a bunch of times.
Yes, because it's all good.
Oh, Jesus. Shoot. Excuse me. I'm so sorry.
No,
I
it's okay,
apologize.
It's okay, I got it.
No. Here, let me get that for you.
Hey, shoot.
Wait, it's my fault. It's my fault, really. I apologize.
Just leave me alone.
Let me make it up to you.
No.
I'll take you out to dinner.
Leave me alone. I have a boyfriend.
Let's have
Get out of my
Let's
face.
have a
Leave
drink.
me
Let's
alone.
have a drink.
Leave me alone.
Let's have
I
a
have
drink.
a boyfriend.
I'll meet
Get
you
out of my
back here at
face.
8 o'clock,
Get out of
and
my
we'll go out and have a drink.
Go.
I'll meet you here at 8 o'clock. We'll go out for a drink. I'll make it up to you.
And then he shows up and she's not there. And then he sees her and says, I think that's that woman. He in VO says, I think that's that woman that didn't show up at 8. And he follows her to her house.
And he says, I'm going to follow her.
Yes, he says, I'm right. So can you describe that scene a little bit and who that person is? Because I still don't know.
That's one of the things about this film I was most confused about. So he goes in after really creepily saying, he's like, I'm going to follow her. And then goes in, sneaks up behind her, and they get in some kind of struggle.
In her house.
In her house.
He's
like he's
her home.
Obviously broke. It's a home invasion, basically. He goes, they get in this struggle. You don't know if he's going to try and rape her. You don't understand what's happening.
He breaks a painting over her head.
Yeah, he does.
She breaks a painting on his
She
head.
breaks a painting. She grabs a painting, breaks it over his head. And so we're like, oh, this is real. But then it devolves into, I'm not quite sure how their fight stops. but then they both start talking about mom, like their brother and sister.
I think they start giggling at one point.
Yeah, they start laughing and then being like, "Oh yeah, did you talk to mom?"
Well, she says, "My mom called."
Mom called,
and then he says, "Say hi to your mom." So
say hi to your mom.
Well, I guess no one in this room could tell. Is that his sister?
I
Did
really
Cade
couldn't
and
tell.
Kale have a sister that was not alluded to, or is that his girlfriend and he's just talking about his girlfriend's mom?
I don't know. I think this brings up a bigger point about women in this film, is that they seem to all be interchangeable. Few of them are named, and we mix them up constantly.
Yeah.
I could not tell you what the actual female roles were.
Yeah, we were getting them mixed up all the time, and there was like, and all of them were like assaulted upon, and it was like, I mean, they were, to be fair, well, no, it's not really fair, but like, to be fair, like, I couldn't tell who the hero of this film was supposed to be, so it has some like writing issues, but definitely with female characters, it was like, hey man, like maybe make one a blonde or make one have a personality or fucking
wear a name tag,
like something, like have him have a conversation with one so we can tell if they have a relationship. Like it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it was really interesting the way that he handled all of the female roles in this film. Like, first of all, he was implying that he was going to follow her home and rape her. Like, he kept using the term bitch to her.
Yeah. No, he went up in his inner monologue all the way till the very end, and we found out that that wasn't the relationship.
And, this is 2019. You have also big spoiler alert here. This woman that he's in love with was a total robot. She had no emotion whatsoever, and she also betrayed him in the end. He's got some real serious issues with women. Like, the other women were like drug addicts who were with his brother for the drugs and the money. The other female, who I think was maybe a different woman that was also with the brother, was a prostitute.
That's
apparently.
right.
Like every woman in this film, except for like the other woman in his real life community, who was his MI6 boss,
the mommy
who yelled
lady?
at him, like
who was a
"Get
mommy
me
corporate
agent."
lady.
Yeah, mommy corporate lady.
She's definitely gonna help you refi.
Like totally flat, totally. It's 2019, and like just the fact that those were his core themes for these women in this movie.
Like, you
were
expected
blowing
mommy
my mind.
corporate lady to be like, Kate, I really wish you'd reconsider refining your home. Like, you're never gonna get anywhere with that level of credit rating.
I think that's another thing he has, in connection with Scorsese. It's kind of that misogynist kind of female treatment of, they're background people that are just there to be shrill and get in the way of you having a good time and burying bodies.
I was more going to connect it to Tarantino, like, hey man, if you're going to write women characters like this, like, at least make the shit on a Tarantino level so I can feel okay with it. But like, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. They're just like objects. I don't know if you saw that whole Tarantino thing where he's like, at the Golden Globes, and he was like, just Margot Robbie for just being a symbol of like goodness or whatever he said, like symbol of good or whatever. It was just like so bland, and it's like, yeah, you didn't, like, you've seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that character doesn't have a personality. Like, it's her personality.
Character is pushing it.
Yeah, exactly. The whole thing is like, you're supposed to be a real life person, Sharon Tate, and you've imbued this character with, oh my god, I'm in movies, I want to watch myself in a movie, and like naivete, and that's being generous.
Yeah.
Like, she's literally a MacGuffin in that film.
Yeah.
And it's like, ugh. So like, this thing has like all its female characters. You feel like Neil Breen was like, ugh, guess we got to put some ladies in it, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Not Neil Breen number 2 says to not Neil Breen number 7. Yeah. Hey, this is the most deadly terror attack planned in history.
Yeah.
It's
like Nella Bronson, and yeah.
I haven't felt this awkward watching a movie in quite a while. He
Gotta watch some more porno, bro.
He wrote this, and I still felt like he was looking off camera and reading cue cards. And the fact that like he's actually in charge of editing this, and the dialogue, the scene where he and his brother, who is also played by him, are both looking at each other, not directly, but at the cue cards on the other side of them.
Eye line's completely.
Yeah, the
picture two actors standing.
Crazy.
Picture two actors standing face to face, but slightly facing towards what will be the proscenium, towards the stage. So they're looking at camera 1 over here and camera 2 over here. So that they're looking over each other's shoulders, and they're like. They're supposed to be in a stagey way looking at each other, but they're definitely like reading cue cards.
And having a conversation between the two of them. There was so many awkward silence, like the time in between lines on this thing. It was fucking freaking me out.
Yeah.
It was freaking me out.
The number of times you could have filled with just line.
There was a time that I thought that something was wrong with the video, that it kind of, like he uses this technique with the freeze frame to stretch his B-roll, as Matt was referring to earlier. And there's times where like I wasn't sure if like the movie paused. Like it just, the language of this thing made no sense to me. I had such a hard time tracking on it.
There were 3 times I thought the video fucked up.
The theater was as confused as you were, by the way. People were yelling with that first freeze frame when he's saying, like, I am my brother and I, blah, blah, blah. And it freezes, and then it just stops moving for like 30 seconds. People are like, hey! Hey! Yelling back at the projection booth.
The projectionist is yelling back like, it's a choice!
It's a DVD!
Yeah. It's a choice! He's in a tour! Yeah, there were like 4 times where I was like, wait, what? Matt, I think you fucked up. Like, the thing's glitchy. 4 times. One was like he repeats the line and it skips back in a way where it was like, instead of just him saying the line over and over, it literally was like he put all the takes together. It like clipped.
That was one of the most confusing things
and I was like,
in this movie.
Yeah. I was like, that's what the Roku does when it's going to die or something.
Yeah, it's like
it was so baffling.
I know. That was so weird.
Yeah, and so that's like I was saying before. Like, I don't think he can't cut anything because it's all gold, right? So that's like in Fateful Findings, you saw that clip of the supposed suicide that was actually a murder, where he's saying, "I can't believe you committed suicide. I can't believe you committed suicide. I can't believe you committed suicide."
Well, I can't help
he's
you
like,
now.
You know the funny thing? They're all good. They're all going in.
Yeah, eat your heart out, Pacino.
Yeah. Okay.
I have just one more comment on just the structure of this thing. There was some actor changes in here.
Wow.
There was also like he was reusing audio, and I was giving him way too much credit. In my head, I was like, "Oh my gosh, we have multiple timelines going here. People are jumping. We're jumping into the future. We're jumping into the past." He just like his buddy was not available to play Coos one day, so he found another person to come in for the afternoon and pick up the role.
So Kyle said to me, literally, we were watching it, he goes, "Oh, are they doing a timeline? There's 2 timelines." And it's this whole AI thing. And it was like, and he said to me, I was like, don't get ambitious, my friend. This is Neil Breen. Like, that's a nice idea.
Well, I honestly, for about half a second, you know, like when you're leaning back in your chair and you're kind of balancing and then you start to lose that second. I thought when Kyle cracked this thing open, I felt like that, like I was free falling back through space, and I realized, nope,
that ain't gonna
audio.
Nope. Yeah.
There's multiple timelines. Non-linear storytelling is way beyond his ken.
Well, and he wasn't even capable of doing because then we went later after that comment. We're like, oh, she's a friggin' AI, she's a robot, and then that didn't happen.
Nope.
Like you had Blade Runner voiceover through the whole thing, and you had your whole thing was about AI, and you had this thing where you had an intimate moment with her over a fireplace, knocked over. We made a joke about it because he knocks over a wine glass after they have a stilted conversation. She goes, "Isn't this great?" And he goes, "Yes, it is great." And he knocks over a wine glass, and she doesn't flinch, and we were like, oh, that's the modern Alan Turing test, is like 2 for flinching.
Voight comp.
Yeah, 2 for flinching. Oh, you're a bot. So, but then, and that should have been the thing. And then it's like that's the obvious thing. But instead it turned out to be this metaphysical ending with the force we saw in the beginning.
So wait, she was not AI?
I thought that she had just betrayed him like so many others had prior.
But how did she get to join him on that Middle Earth purple realm for a minute to say goodbye if she's not AI? I think Cade made her. I think she's like a Tulpa, like in Twin Peaks, like a doppelganger. Or so, whatever, you know what I mean? Like a created entity. I think Kale.
Yeah, Kale
made her. I think, as a trap for his brother or something. Am I giving this way too much credit?
You are,
That
but there's
rubber band-
something to that.
But this rubber band on the table looks like an infinity symbol. And
Wait, no, but he doesn't. No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say this, like, there were cues in this thing that
Yeah.
she was not human.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
That's what I thought.
The wine spilling. Okay,
Yes.
he did knock over that one bottle when he tried to slap that woman. That was an accident.
Yes.
But the other wine,
still
the other
gold.
wine that was spilled, like, they showed that. Like,
that was a cutaway
Yeah.
to that shot,
Yes.
and that was the whole. That was a narrative intentional thing, unlike the one where it was like, "Whoa, oh well, I guess we're keeping that. We couldn't possibly shoot that again."
Or
This
falling
is it.
down after setting a
we
time
We
bomb.
did it.
Yeah.
I agree. That's not an accident, and I think that's what he's intending to say. I think that he, in his mind, that was, like I said, like Kale made a trap for his brother to blah, 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 but he's like, that's coming across, right? This is coming across. Yeah, I don't need to. We're not going to delve into
And
this.
that goes back to what I was saying before about, like, it's like a guy who has this idea, but he doesn't know how to. It's like describing a dream to somebody. And you're like, it was the shopping mall, but it was also my grade school, and you just had to be there. And he's like, you get it, right? Because it was in my head. And it's just like so much is lost in translation that it's like unbelievable. He's like, no, the whole, like, I thought I made that pretty clear. And it's like, no, that's not what filmmaking is. Like, you have to show those things. We're trained from, like, seeing some version of the dramatic arts for years and years and years. We're trained to see, like, oh, like the Chekhov's gun kind of thing, or the whatever that's going to be like, they played this kind of music cue, that means she's a traitor, or just whatever. And it's like he misuses or doesn't use any of those, and so, like, he thinks he's like, oh, it's obvious, right? It's obvious, of course. And it's like, no. You needed to hammer that point home,
I think
or not make it in the first place.
I think he has an echo chamber of whatever in his own head, and he's losing the plot literally as it goes from his brain in the shower, you know, blah blah, writing it, editing it all in his head. And by the time he sits down at one of many laptops and writes it out, it's fucked.
Maybe if he thinks if he went too far with it to where we would actually get it, he thinks he'd be lacking subtlety.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
I hope his buildings have more structure. He's an architect, right?
And more imagination.
We're in trouble.
Yeah. I was bewildered a year ago, and I was bewildered tonight when one of the people shows up with double-sided tape on their upper lip and a like a party supply store mustache on it.
Yeah.
And it's catching light, reflecting lights.
Yeah.
Sparkling, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
No.
I don't understand him.
I just think he doesn't have an understanding of human cues,
Yeah.
just basic cues of emotion and trying to convey something. He just doesn't. He does not understand it at all.
Yeah. If you follow him on social media, he is completely unaware of any complicated enjoyment of his work. I guess I'll say any ironic appreciation
So
of his
he
work.
thinks people just genuinely think he's a
Yep.
great filmmaker. That's why
Another
they go
sold
and see
out
his
show in
movies.
Paris at the blah 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 theater. Like that's
Oh,
all. That's all he
wow.
knows is this theater in Rome showed it. This little independent theater. I love independent cinema, independent blah blah, and it's sold out. Another sold out. This place, there's 3 shows in a row sold out. Like he's not getting that people are rolling in the aisles and hooting and hollering at this thing. He doesn't understand that.
So you think that he's enough of a narcissist that if people come up to him and be like, your movies are so shitty that they make us laugh, that's why we're enjoying it, is because your movies are terrible. Do you think that point would get across to him?
He kind of addressed that in I mentioned an interview that he called into a radio show. Somebody reached out to him and asked him to do an on-air interview, and he did. You can find it on YouTube, I think. He did kind of allude to the fact that, some people are having a little bit of fun with like the shortcomings of my films. Sometimes these aren't big Hollywood productions, guys. He said, like, I'm self-taught. I taught myself. I think he taught himself through. I think he took correspondence film courses while he was an architect, because that was that was his passion.
Okay.
He was unfulfilled in like the middle of his life, Okay. So he's like very proud of the fact that he's self-taught and he does these things entirely independently. He answers to no one. He kind of does that whole of course people are going to have an issue with it. They're being spoon-fed Hollywood bullshit, and I'm a maverick out here doing my own thing and doing my own story. So of course people aren't going to get it. I don't care as long as they're seeing it. Maybe they'll come around and get it. Wow. It's kind of the vibe I got from the interview. Yeah. Like he knows that people are like, haha, green screen, but he's just kind of saying, yeah, the medium is not the message, guys.
So the Messiah complex is real. It's at the core of who this person is.
I think so. Yeah. So Jacob, what worked for you in this? What was successful? Speaking of that stuff.
Well, I mean, I did enjoy it. I laughed a lot and was truly bewildered through most of it, which I can't say that I am for most films that I watch. Like a lot of films I watch, I'm like, oh, okay, this has a structure that I can follow, and I kind of know what's going on, and I didn't say that once through this whole thing. That made me laugh a lot. And was really strange.
Yes.
I think that was the thing that I took away most from it, was just how strange and unnatural everything was.
Okay, then let me rephrase that. That's all valid, by the way. What worked for you in a technical standpoint? Intentional, if anything.
Intentional, oddly enough, and I think I made a note about this, I thought that he was most convincing as an actor when he was playing Kale with his drug buddy. I thought that the lines that he said about drugs were actually very natural. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe he said these lines a few other times in his actual life. He has some kind of a...
One for you, two for me?
Well, that was just bizarre. His counting skills are a little strange, but no, I thought for some reason the drug scenes worked for me. Those scenes with Kale and his lady seemed like they could have been a scene in another bad movie that maybe made a little more sense.
That's very generous.
Yeah.
One thing I love, I noticed that in the background of the drug den, where they just have a mattress on the floor and they just get high, right?
Yeah.
The villainous twin. And the booze that they down is some type of white wine, looks like Pinot Grigio or something like that. That same bottle is the wine that they are drinking at the end when the wine glass falls over. Like that's just that frugality, right? It goes to the whole thing.
That too.
Same label.
Yeah, it was like the same bottle of wine that they probably just filled with water or something.
There was a music cue that actually worked in this. There was like one music cue when he and his lady were kissing in one of the conference rooms at the community college.
Was it this? Dun, 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 dun. It was if you won't be my baby, well, come along.
It actually worked. For the first time I was like, oh, there's like this is my first experience with him, so I thought maybe we're off to a rocky start, like we're gonna see some more traditional film language and move this thing forward, and it was that one time he really nailed it.
So you thought film 5 was the one where he really was all going to come together mid-film?
Yes. I have to say, I am really, I don't know what the right word is for this. I'm shocked, but I'm also impressed that he is finding this B-roll stock footage and like manipulating it in a way that like is not
good.
It's not good, but there's also a couple of scenes where I was like, man, like you superimposed yourself into a factory and now you're running around inside of this like two-dimensional space. Like, I don't know how you figured out how to even do that.
Up out of that balcony.
You know what? That was my favorite effect. The jumping up and the way that he figured out how to make that happen by putting his legs over the banister and just waiting for a split second so that he had enough time to work the effect.
So this is Neil Breen. Kyle's talking about Neil Breen is a superhuman. He's post-human. He's whatever. So he has the ability to jump like Spider-Man. So he's jumping up from the ground floor to the third floor railing to do his superhero stuff. So it's kind of Spider-Man-y stuff.
Oh, that was the best.
We
just put your legs over, hold on to the railing, and just wait for a second, so you have enough time to work the effect.
And then come downstairs and do this, like kind of a Marvel.
Jump, but you have to jump.
Yeah.
kind of a Marvel jump to the ground. We had a joke where it was like, you know how they take indie directors, like your Taika Waititis and your Ryan Johnsons, and they hand them a Star Wars movie or a Avengers movie. It's like, they should give Neil Breen an Avengers or like an X-Men or something, Vision. And just see what he can do with it. Give him a budget.
Give him Vision.
Give him a fucking... Oh, God. Yes. Yeah.
Disney, if you're listening and you haven't already started
Neil
production
Breen.
on the Scarlet Witch and Vision show, Neil Breen.
Scarlet Witch and Vision. Let's do this. There's nothing, because they don't really have anything invested in Vision and Scarlet Witch. Like, there's no love for that. So just take a chance on it. Give it to Neil Breen. That would be pretty amazing. I would see that. That it's going to be awkward and weird, and it would be actually perfect. Like a Neil Breen acting style for an android humanoid who can like phase through walls and shit that's about what Neil Breen's bringing to the table acting wise.
You know what the incel rage that would happen? how many fucking mass shootings would happen if Neil Breen got a Marvel property? The worst direction ever.
Because all those guys would be like, no, Vision is the best, and I jack off to him every day, and yeah. Well, how dare you fuck with my childhood? And this comic book I didn't read.
Rape my childhood, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Scarlet Witch? What? The hottest female property in Marvel Comics? How dare you? Yeah.
Joe, what worked for you?
Not much of it in specifics, but all of it in totality. What I mean by that is...
It's a good description. It really is.
Let's say you made a cake, and that cake had... I listed the ingredients to you, and you're like, ooh, I don't like that. Oof. Oh, I don't like that either. But then I made the thing, I baked it, and you were like, whoa, it all works, though. Like, oh, I'm not fond of peanut butter. Don't like capers. Those things also don't seem like they go together.
Tartar sauce?
Cloves, Tom Collins mix, and pie crust.
Yeah, cloves raw. Like, all right, okay, I'll try your fucking cake. And then you're like, it's bad, but I like it. So, yeah, this is a so big movie, meaning standing for it. So bad it's good. This is one of those... I don't like the term guilty pleasure. I think fucking unapologetically like what you like.
Yeah.
So I don't like that, like, I like my stupid little shows. Like, no, I like this because it fucking sucks. Like, that's how I say it. I'm like, yeah, it's terrible. I love it. Yeah. But it's terrible in, like, such a fun way. Yeah, this would be exactly the kind of thing that, in terms of terrible movie stuff, that I would say, absolutely. Give it a shot. I don't think it'll waste your time if this is your bag. If you're listening to this, you should like this.
Okay. Is there anything we didn't cover that we want to cover before we talk about some stuff? Yeah.
I have one question for you. You've seen 5 of these now.
Yeah, I have. Multiple times.
Do you have any insight into the symbolism behind the rose? I saw like roses throughout, like the primer you cut together for us, and then there was the rose in this one.
Can I take a stab at this? I'm going to guess the rose symbolizes romance. And that's it. I don't think you're going to get any deeper with that. I think it's just like...
So in one of his... I Am Here Now from 2009 and Pass Through from 2016 are both movies where he's essentially a Christ-like human that comes to Earth and is warning us and punishing the bad. And in one of those, you saw a clip of there's hardscrabble desert and a wilted rose, and then when he walks past it, you see it again, and it's upright and thriving. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
And this one, where was it?
There was one that was thrown in front of a bike rack.
Yep.
And it was just intentionally thrown on the ground.
I forgot about that.
It was left in front of the bike rack.
I saw it somewhere else too, like right.
Did the Muse have one
before that?
And why was there a Muse?
Winged Muse.
Winged Muse.
Right.
So a woman that looks kind of like an LA stripper, or no, a Las Vegas stripper. Sorry.
Yeah.
With little wings on and spiked high heel porno shoes, hangs around the supervillain.
Again, just to put a fine point on it, a villain shouldn't have a muse. That's a whore. If it like, you don't have a muse if you're a supervillain. Like, my muse. I look at you.
But he was into
and
art.
my beauty reminds me of a plan.
Yeah, and Thanos has a muse. Death.
Yeah, but Thanos was 50% good guy, 50% bad guy.
I don't know, Kyle. Who dropped that? First of all, why is there a bike rack in the film, and who dropped a rose there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's watch it again.
From the Salt Lake City Library. Yeah.
Okay. So I think we need to address, before we go on to final judgment, the villain is one of the weirdest parts to me. I mean, this whole film is a scratch your head, what the fuck film, but within that, the Kuz, the villain, is bizarre. So he is shown with a big silver chalice full of obviously fake diamonds, huge, disgustingly huge cut diamonds, and he's an art dealer, and he's also a supervillain, criminal, runs a crime syndicate. And there's some shots that are just like him like caressing his diamonds and letting them go through his hands. At the end, when they kill him, his bloody hand does the same thing and then kind of collapses. He speaks in a pitched down voice that is very bizarre and has no reason ever presented.
Mr. Kuz, I assume.
Ah, so you come highly recommended. So you're interested in my special art and investing in my special projects.
And then at one point, when Joe stepped into the bathroom, but the time then... So, okay, first of all of Kuz's scenes were shot at the same shitty McMansion's table, okay? Mm-hmm. The one time he was not in that shot... So they're all shot at the same time, is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, it's like a one-day shoot.
When it wasn't... it was at a pool, outdoor somebody's backyard pool, and it's a guy clearly 40 years older than the actor.
That's what I noticed.
Who speaks? You missed this when you were in the bathroom.
I came back to the very end and it was like, that's when Kyle was like, or maybe Jacob was like, is that his dad?
So I don't know.
Like, what did I miss? And they're like, nothing really except this one crazy thing.
So it kind of suggested to me that. So the older version of Kuz is sitting at a poolside, and then the muse appears through the magic of video editing, materializes, and then she walks around. I couldn't tell if he had aged because of something, if this was intentional, or if it was literally just a case of like in the room where it's just like, this actor that was playing this guy, he quit. And we're not reshooting these scenes, so we're just getting another actor to play him, and I hope you don't notice. We'll definitely pitch his voice down, so it'll be okay.
100%, that's what it was.
I think that's
100%.
absolutely that.
Okay.
And then they're like a greater movie would try and write that in as like, oh, he's kind of a Dracula, and when he goes outside it ages him or some bullshit, but they're just like, no, you won't notice. Who cares?
It's all in here.
Yeah. It's like, and the imagination in your mind.
I'll be right here.
Yeah, that's right. So I feel like we kind of did final judgments, though. Yeah.
No.
That was like just final takes.
I was just saying. I think you were also.
Oh, what did you like?
What worked for you in it?
Okay.
We talked about a lot of things that didn't work. So Jacob, is this cool or is this trash? This is the last one of the original run of the show, the real run of the show.
Last one. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think it's cool. And I think it's cool because I had a great time. I'm really glad I got to do this with you guys one last time. And no, I thought it was a perfect film to watch for the very last episode. Because it was so bad. So bad, colossally bad on so many levels. But I laughed a lot. I was more perplexed at this than I think any movie I've ever watched. Aside from After Last Season, which I think was the only other one that was even more confusing. But this was better. It was entertaining, and he definitely had something to say.
Thank you. Yeah, After Last Season. Sorry, Kyle. Thank you for bringing that up, because these are both films of the 21st century and very different experience. After Last Season just made us angry.
It did. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. It was like, come on. Yeah. It's like. Yeah, about an hour, like what, 40 minutes in, we're just like, Jesus Christ movie.
Daring you to finish it.
Yeah.
Okay, Kyle, sorry.
I had all of the same feelings that Jacob had. This was so fun, so fucking bizarre. But I'm gonna go with trash on this one. This is my first experience with him, and he made me so fucking angry during this thing. But at the same time, I laughed more out loud than I have in a very long time. So I'm feeling really conflicted, and I'm gonna watch all of his movies now. I actually have a thumb drive of them. And I gotta go deep. I'm gonna go deep, but right now, like I hate this guy. I hate it. It's trash.
Yeah,
I hate him.
I get it.
I hate him.
I get it. I'm going cool. I think I kind of tipped my hand on this from before. I think it's what did I say? Too big to fail? No. So bad it's good. And too big to fail. And yeah, I like was, as much as it was terrible, absolutely, it was terrible in that way that was like completely entertaining 100% all the way through, to where you didn't want to like leave the room and you think you'd miss some terrible thing that would be completely entertaining. So I think this is like, it's a great note to go out on for the 100th episode. I think it's like the apotheosis of what these kind of movies are supposed to be and why we bother like sifting through them. So yeah, I'm going cool.
Well put, Joe. Thank you. I'm also cool. I don't think anyone's surprised by that. I'm a huge evangelist of Neil Breen and his work. I first stumbled across him in one of those like 10 worst line reads comps like on YouTube, and immediately just said like, what is the movie with a guy in the desert wearing a Halloween mask and blah, 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 and found it and immediately fell in love with it. And I spread it around. It's like the good word of Jesus to me. So I love the guy. I hope that he never figures out that we're all laughing. I hope he makes 5 more movies. It makes, we don't deserve him, but we got him. And I feel really thankful about that. So thank you, Mr. Breen, for doing that. And yeah, and I hope to see you in 6. And let us know if you want to have a film crew film you work.
Documentary.
Yes, we need a documentary about Neil Breen. He needs to have a documentary about him.
Would he become like too self-aware though if people were filming him doing his thing? Because his lack of self-awareness, but his lack of self-awareness is part of his thing. So if he was like suddenly, oh, now the light shines on me from behind the camera. Do you know what I mean? Would it change the nature of it? It's like a Schrodinger cat.
No,
like,
it's not. It's being observed does not change the phenomenon. No, it is not. Like
that thing.
Yeah.
Not,
Is he away for a part of it?
The Heisenberg principle. Right? Is it Heisenberg? Is that what it is? Like observing the thing changes the thing?
Ask about that. Yeah, I know.
Whatever that is. Yeah.
I don't.
Sciencey thing that is.
I don't think that's going to affect anything with him. I think that he is who he is, and you could have De Niro stand there and ask him questions or whatever, and that wouldn't change the way he directs or behaves or acts. You know what I mean? Nothing's going to... I think he is who he is. But he's bulletproof and waterproof. He's Neil Breen. TM. By the way...
Put on your Breen suit and dive in.
So he doesn't regularly add to his channel, but he has a YouTube channel. So he will update you on stuff like that. When he was raising money through... GoFundMe or whatever on one of the crowdsourcing things for Twisted Pair, I messaged him and said, if you made tiers of support and you made one of them like a campaign award was like an autographed DVD or poster, you probably get a lot more people, pitching in or more pitching in more money. He didn't respond. I also said, how about... I just remembered this while I was talking. How about breakfast with Breen? If you pitch in $5,000, you get to go down to Las Vegas and have breakfast with you
like
at
buffet.
Denny's.
Yeah. How much would it be to be in one?
I think I also said if you could be an extra in one of your films, that would be a top tier. Like I would pay whatever that is to be an extra.
Also,
but he never responded. He doesn't respond on Twitter to anything.
What about Twisted Pair 2? 2 twisted, 2 pairs.
Where was I? So on YouTube, there's this thing that my daughter likes to watch, which is on one of his updates. He's sitting. Whenever you see McMansion in his movies, that's his house. It's very you figure that out really quick. So when he does updates from sometimes from his house, and he's sitting on his couch, and somebody grabbed the source footage and edited together. You can find it on YouTube. It's 10 hours of Neil Breen smiling, staring and smiling at you. And Athena my dog likes to put it on.
Sounds
Just
like
watch
the Yule log.
Yes, it's like a Yule log of Neil Breen.
Or the one my favorite one where they do the it's Joe Pesci in Home Alone where he's getting his head burned by the fire, and it just like that is a GIF, and that's like the Yule log.
Okay, so
10 hours of that smile.
we don't. We three who made this a cool don't have to do an antidote, but Kyle has to offer up something. And this is not the final thing I asked for. This is a normal antidote, something that is related. It can't be your.
Shit.
It can't be your.
I can't do an antidote on this. Let me see.
How's your fucking trash now, bitch? What's anti Twisted Pear?
Okay.
Just straight apple.
Okay. This is as close as I can come with this short of thinking on this, but
Season 3 of The Wire.
I recently saw this Charles Bronson movie called The Mechanic.
Oh yeah.
And it was my first time watching this, and I really loved it. It was like a good, solid 70s movie. Like the first 15 minutes of this, there is no talking.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like, and through the part of the mechanic, I don't want to give too much of this away, but the mechanic is a contract killer, and he is training someone else to be a contract killer. And I don't know why, but there's some parallels in this that kind of made me feel like if you, like that is the antithesis of this, where it's like the acting is telling the story, things are moving forward, and at the same time, like you are, like he is an anti-hero, and it was fun. It was fun to watch.
It's a great movie.
That is a good movie. I like. Then like when he finally talks, he's like, "Oh, hey there, here's your problem."
Yeah.
You catalytic converter's
Put a
gun.
bullet right in the brain.
Okay, that's a good one. I like
that's
that.
a great answer.
Okay, so I asked everybody to come up with a final psychotronic movie recommendation. So I guess it's kind of like if you had to impart your wisdom to the audience, your desert island psychotronic movie, your go-to whatever, what would that be? So we'll start with Jacob.
Okay, well, the one that came to mind that I've watched over the years that I really like, I'm not sure how available it is, but it's a movie that Neil Young made with Devo called Human Highway. And it is really, really bad. And Neil Young directed it. It's about half concert footage, half... You can find scenes from it on Devo compilations. There's... I think they're working in a coal mine section of that movie. The little music video they did for it is actually the music video for working in a coal mine. And it's kind of an anti-nuclear movie, really, really strange. The guy that plays Dr. Jacoby in Twin Peaks is in it.
Okay.
And
Russ Tamblyn?
Yeah, Russ Tamblin's in it. I guess him and Neil were best friends.
Yeah.
And
Not a shock.
not a shock at all. And so Russ Tamblyn did all this choreography and all these different things, and it makes no sense, but it has Devo and Neil Young in it, so it's insanely watchable.
Okay.
But really, really confusing.
1980?
It's around 1983, 84, I think.
Oh, okay.
And right around there. It's right around where Neil Young made his kind of electronic record with a vocoder. It's called Trance.
Yeah.
And is great. Is a great record that I genuinely love.
Okay.
And I don't know. I don't think it's on YouTube. Here in the Portland area, you can find it at Movie Madness.
Yay.
I think there's a bootleg of that around there. I have it on VHS. It was released in the mid 90s on VHS, and then I don't think it's had an official release.
Okay.
If I'm sure, but yeah, that's my recommendation.
Do you know if it had any kind of limited theatrical run when it?
Oh,
was
it definitely
released?
did.
It did. Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it. Human Highway.
Human Highway.
So, tired, stop making sense. Wired, human highway.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Kyle?
You know what?
Mechanic.
Yeah, I saw this really cool movie recently.
You guys ordered Charles Bronson.
You know what? I don't think that there's a single one for me, but I've been thinking a lot, and especially with some conversations that Matt and I have been having. But I think that pretty much anything by Herschel Gordon Lewis, for me in this genre, it just makes me so fucking happy. Like this is a guy who just saw an opportunity to make some money and taught himself how to make really bad movies. I mean, just strictly to make money. Like he went out and saw an opportunity at these drive-ins and saw that these young kids were into something totally different, and he exploited every aspect of that and put out some really good bad stuff.
Can you give
Gruesome
us some
Twosome.
some examples of his work.
Yeah, like the Gruesome Twosome is like this. It's essentially about an artist who wants to find like the perfect color red, and they find that through blood.
That's Color Me Blood Red.
Oh shoot! What is
Gruesome Twosome?
I don't remember then.
Oh man, I don't remember the plot of that one. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't remember. I guess I've completely mixed those two up.
Blood Feast.
A poet that kills people.
Blood Feast is the one about the Egyptian caterer who is sacrificing people for an ISIS offering or something. And then he made 2000 Maniacs about the Civil War village that comes back to punish Yankees. And then he did Color Me Blood Red, which is an artist trying to get the perfect red. I forget what Gruesome Twosome is. I'm sorry.
I'm blanking on it.
There was that one, and there was that one where there's a magician who kills people. Like
he actually saws them in
Yeah,
half.
like he does the tricks, and it's actually doing it. Yeah, I forgot what that one's called too. Damn.
No refunds, folks. That's what that one's called.
So you're just saying
refunds,
the output of Herschel
folks.
Gordon Lewis would be your recommendation?
Yeah, it is just to me it embodies what psychotronic filmmaking is: money grabs, exploitation.
Yep.
And pushing boundaries. Like this is kind of the birth of slasher films.
Oh,
And
yeah.
seeing
Oh,
like
yeah.
that level of gore on screen. It actually had a pretty big impact.
Yeah, he took his. I think he was an advertiser, and he just took his skills and just like you said, looked
There
at
you go.
drive-ins and said, "Wow, people make a lot of money on this." And he was the kind of guy who said, you know, why don't I just buy another picture that's not doing any business and then do a double bill and I get all the money? I don't have to give any of the money to anybody. I mean, he was that kind of
Smart.
guy. Yeah. Good call.
Kind of like what's his name? The Israel that took the old comics and like
Israel Waldman.
Israel Waldman. Yeah, that's another story. But okay, so my pick is much more mainstream, but I'm going to walk you through my thought process very briefly. So I thought of some things that were pretty popular, but a lot of things that I think are, you know, like what would be my desert island kind of psychotronic B movie, or sort of claimed by other culture. Like Roadhouse is already like a thing that movie houses will play, and I thought of They Live came to mind because somebody brought it up today, and I was like, oh, that's a good one. That's definitely recommended. And I also thought of Gremlins 2 because...
The new batch?
Yeah. Gremlins 2, the new batch. Because how the fuck did that get made? Like, that is definitely a psychotronic movie, and it's so insane that got... Because, like, Gremlins was so huge, like, merchandising Steven Spielberg huge, that they went, oh, we didn't plan to make a sequel, but we have to. Mm-hmm. And then they did all the cocaine. Of course, there's the Key and Peele sketch that like makes fun of that, which is great. Rewatched that today, where they're like, okay, how about everyone in the room, like, make a gremlin? What do you got? And like everyone's like, I love it. It's in the movie. And so it's like, electricity gremlin? Like, you're like a child walking through the woods. You don't even know what you're saying, but... You know what? It's genius and it's in the movie. So it's like, it is all of that. Like the fact that a big budget thing put all this crazy and like Hulk Hogan breaking the fourth wall and all that. So it was like, that's cool. But I think Desert Island, I got to go Repo Man.
Okay.
And I know, so Repo Man, it definitely fits psychotronic. It definitely fits. It's a cult movie, even though it was widely acclaimed when it came out in 1984. Alex Cox really only did one other big thing, and that was Sid and Nancy. It had a weird, limited cinematic release. So it did like some Chicago and New York stuff and some LA stuff. And then it got kind of a revival, but it never really got traction, even though it got a lot of critical attention. And it was rated one of the best films of 1984, and of course a cult classic, but it still didn't really rate until it got on video. Also, nobody famous was in it. Like Harry Dean Stanton was the biggest name at the time in it, and he's a famous character actor. The biggest name after that is Emilio Estevez, who in 1984 was a fucking nobody, except for the fact that he was, from the Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen family, but he hadn't done anything yet. He hadn't done Young Guns or fucking fuck all else. So nobody knew who any of those people were, and it has like alien elements. And well, Roger Ebert said it better than I did. I found this. This was on the wiki page at the end of his review. He was talking about he'd watched a bunch of commercial schlocky shit that wasn't taking any chances and was just like boring as fuck. And he said, Repo Man comes out of left field, has no big stars, didn't cost much, takes chances, dares to be unconventional, is funny, and works. There is a lesson here. And it was like, damn, that is like absolutely the best thing. Because Hollywood never learns that lesson. Mm-hmm. It seems like every time you get a like low budget, My Big Fat Greek Wedding or whatever it is, and they go, oh, what? This? Or like a Twilight or whatever, they go, oh, this is what you like? Instead of learning that making original stuff that's exciting and weird and takes chances, that could make money. Instead, they go, oh, people love vampires, or they love fat Greek people, or they love whatever, and they just try and clone that thing. They love Game of Thrones. Let's make Game of Clones. So they, I think that's what Roger Ebert is saying, but it's also like this feels like the example of this type of movie, except everything just clicked into place magically and like worked.
And the
somehow.
soundtrack.
And the soundtrack's phenomenal, by the way. Yeah, that's another thing. Is it has this LA punk soundtrack that's like Circle Jerks and whatever.
Good call.
So it's like that is absolute. It's one of those. If it comes on, it's like absolutely watching that to the end, and super super fun movie.
Cool, nice work. I think Repo Man is a quintessential midnight movie, like up there with like Eraserhead and El Topo and like those. Just you say,
absolutely
underground midnight movie. That's one of the top 5 easily. Okay, so mine is Kyle could probably guess Under Pressure, but this is from Russ Meyer. I think it's one of the most rewatchable movies. Like, there's a few handful of movies that you could, back in the VHS days, you folks might not know this, but when you had a movie and you stopped it, you took it out, it stayed there. It didn't start at the beginning next time you put it in. So it was one of those movies where I could just pop it in and just watch it wherever it was, like the Big Lebowski, same kind of thing, and just play it out. I don't give a shit what mood I'm in, what time of day it is, what I'm doing. I will sit down and watch the rest of it. And that is Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. The most entertaining, wild, fucking bananas goddamn movie. And this is kind of like you're saying, like, the Valley of the Dolls was this huge, huge hit, this melodrama, this kind of sappy horse shit. And we need a sequel. What are we going to do? What do we got to do? Well, it's got to be edgy. It's like the first one had pills in it and eating disorders and blah, blah. So it's like, well, Russ Meyer's kind of pretty fucking edgy. And there's this dude named Roger Ebert, who is a film critic, but he's also doing some writing. I bet he could write it.
Is that the Roger Ebert that I just quoted for Repo Man?
Correct.
The same late, great Roger Ebert?
So this film, they're taking the piss out of the first movie. They're pissing all over melodrama, these lame, structured, things where characters get what they deserve. There's a voiceover that's like God saying, this person did this, and this is what happened at the end. But it is beyond that. It is the most wild fucking movie. Surprise twist out of nowhere. Fucking the most quotable shit I've ever fucking seen in my life. Beyond the Valley of the Dolls is probably my favorite movie as far as entertainment, bar none.
It feels like it's making fun of the moral majority in a way that, like, you only see in, like, Russ Meyer and, like, John Waters. Mm-hmm. Like, where it's like, oh, hey, we're making fun of your anti-drug, like, PSAs. Like, here's a whole, like, you're going to make a whole cautionary tale about that. We're going to do kind of the opposite of that. Where it's just like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. That's how you get Superwoman. Arnie Z-Man Barzell.
And the famous quote from that, of course, famous quote from that, which people quote out of context, and people go, I know the quote, but I don't know the source, is this is my happening, and it freaks me out.
due to Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's most people.
Good
Most people
choice.
think it's from Austin Powers, but he was quoting my favorite movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are our desert island picks, I guess, for Psychotronic selections
You guys want to go to a desert island? Sure. Watch some movies?
for 8 hours. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Kyle's, I guess, would be more than 8.
Well, yeah,
You got a hard
we'll be
out?
on the island.
Yeah.
I got a hard out. I got a hard out in 2 hours. We got to pick one movie.
Well, he picked a whole director.
Yeah.
So there's 40. I don't know how many you made. You cranked them out.
We'll make a camping trip of it. Weekend.
Congratulations, Matt.
Thank you.
This is really, you've done an incredibly amazing thing here with, and I know that you have seen like 100 movies, Psychotronic movies, to make this series, but I was curious, like, how many Psychotronic movies do you think you've seen in total?
Like lifespan?
Yeah.
200?
Oh, no.
No.
More than that. So, I mean, like when Kyle and I were roommates in Eugene, we, what's it called? Not Movie Madness.
The one up on the hill.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. Totally blanking. Anyway, there was this a movie rental place, and they had a giant binder with just like you'd turn pages, and it was just like different Psychotronic shit. And I grew up on, Psychotronic, just like in grade school, there'd be like old monster, Universal monster books, whatever like that. And then you'd see a still from Nosferatu, and I'd be like, God, someday they might find a print of that and I can see Nosferatu or whatever. I mean, I was after this shit since I was a little kid. So to go there in college and have this place, I almost had the name. God damn it. It just almost popped in my head.
Keep going.
Anyway, to have this like thing separated out by these genres, blaxploitation, kung fu, whatever.
It was called I Spit on Your VCR.
Was such a treat. And I saw so many of these things that I'd heard about that were legendary to me. I would have to guess over 1,000.
Easy.
I
was thinking maybe even 2 on the way over. I was thinking about this for you.
I think it's in the low 4 figures, but yes, it's definitely 4 figures. And, I always tell people, like, some people are horrified when they hear stuff like that. Like, you waste so much of your life doing this, and it's like...
If you enjoy it, it's not wasting it.
True, but I guess my point is, like, I would rather watch a Neil Breen movie or something completely inept that is entertaining than some fucking the best and the worst are the only things that ever interest me. The middle of the road bores me fucking to tears. I decided to be a nice guy and not watch something fucking crazy with Renee. She wanted to watch A Star Is Born. The new version, the 15,000th version. Sat through it. I could barely fucking remember it the next day, except for the fucking song. I saw La La Land, mildly entertained in the theater. Could not fucking hum a tune the next day. I forget what the fuck is Crash? That movie won like Best Picture in 2004. Offensively bad. Offensively boring. Yeah. Like, I have no interest in that mainstream shit. Like, it's
like a movie that you like. No, I tried to pay attention, but I felt like I was on my phone the whole time.
Yeah. So a lot, Kyle. But thank you for appreciating my my endeavors. I've loved watching stuff for the show. I thought you were going to ask how many I've watched for the show, because believe it or not, for everything that we watch on here, I've watched probably 2 or 3 things and rejected it, or at least the first 30 to 40 minutes of something and said it's not a good fit for the show.
That's also not counting the riffs. For the riffs things, there's like, I watched 20 minutes of this. This looks promising, and then like, no, I finished watching it. This is got a lot of dead spots. Probably not riffy. And then there's like, are you counting rewatches for like for some of these I've watched twice, and for when doing a riff I've watched like 6 times easily.
Do you know how many times I've seen Wild Guitar? Like, before we even started riffing it, you know how many times I've seen that movie? That's like 5 times before
I've seen Wild Guitar. You're like, what movie? Like, hey, hashtag movie buff. Like, what movie have you seen more than any other? I'd have been like, Back to the Future, duh. And now I'm like, probably Wild Guitar. Probably Wild Guitar. You've never heard of it, but yeah, it was Back to the Future. It was Back to the Future. It really was.
Yeah, we I ruined that.
But I did Wild Guitar more times in a 1.5-year span than I've done in Back to the Future since when it came out in 1985.
Yeah, fair enough. So we're referring to our movie riffs, what we've done.
Yeah, look them up.
They're on that'scoolthatstrash.com. I put hyperlinks to all of the files on Google Drive, so you can just go and right click and do save as and download all of our movies. We did Bloody Pit of Horror, Invasion of the Bee Girls, Curse of the Swamp Creature, Wild Guitar. And we started Matango Attack of the Mushroom People, and Joe and Kyle and I still need to go back and revisit it because it's half done.
We'll get there.
And it needs to be done. Yeah, so that will be the final thing from That's Cool, That's Trash. But as far as episodes go, this is the final episode, guys. So I wanted to take a moment to thank each of you for giving of your time to me and putting up with my bullshit and giving me your weekends and whatever you've done to do this. I really appreciate it. And it's meant a lot to me, and I've loved watching the shit that I love with you guys and talking about it. It's been a great time, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. I swear.
Thank you.
You can't see it, listener, but we're all high-fiving and shaking hands and hugging right now.
And reaching around.
And little grabby stuff, but it's all really, really nice.
All right, you guys. Well, we may come back in some other form or another, but in the meantime, go out to our website and download all of our riffs and enjoy those. We worked pretty hard on them. And, yeah, Attack of the Mushroom People will come out at some point. We'll give that away free as well. But maybe we'll see in the future, maybe not. But for That's Cool, That's Trash, I'm Matt Howell.
I'm Joe.
Kyle.
And I'm Jacob.
You folks out there, stay trashy.
That's trash.
It's garbage, folks.
I hear the food is spectacular. The service is impeccable. It's just friggin' invisible. I bought you a present.